You can have 100,000 followers and still be completely broke. And the sad part is, most creators really have no idea why. Even if you have consistent content, sky-high engagement, and a huge following, you may not be making any real money. And that's because you're focused on the wrong things. I call it playing the attention game, not the ownership game. So in this video, I'm going to explain the difference between attention and ownership, share why most creators are playing the wrong game, and reveal what you really need to create a thriving creator business. By the way, my name is Ryan Ellis, a full-time music creator who's passionate about helping other creators find success. Now, let's go ahead and kick things off by diving deeper into the invisible trap that so many content creators find themselves in, followed by the 3 steps that you can take to get out of it. Let's go ahead and talk about the invisible trap. Think of the attention game like an invisible trap. Day by day, week by week, and year by year, you've been steadily building your reach online with your content. But this whole time, the social media platforms own your relationship with your audience. And think about it. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and X, these social media sites all incentivize engagement and watch time because they make their money when people stay on their platforms and see more ads. But think about what they don't reward. Your business's stability, recurring income, or long-term success. If you consider your creator business a business, then the attention game is the wrong scoreboard to optimize for. And let's put some numbers to that. For a long video on YouTube, creators typically get a revenue per 1,000 RPM, earnings of $1 to 15 US dollars, depending on niche, geography, topic, and video length, which means on the high end of that range, you can expect to earn 1.5 cents per view. And guess what? They don't even mint pennies in the US anymore. But that is how much a creator can expect to make per viewer of their hard work, if they're lucky. Now imagine if you could gather up all of these individual viewers in real life and have a conversation with each one of them. Can you think of ways you could authentically provide value to each member of your audience that would earn you more than a penny per person? Of course you can, with basically anything else. Playing the attention game without a deeper monetization strategy just means you're a media business trying to survive off of ad revenue and maybe the occasional brand deal. And trust me, I've been there, and honestly, it's a tough game to win. Bottom line, the attention game is necessary, but not sufficient to find the success that you deserve as a creator. All of us creators need to be playing the ownership game as well, and with that in mind, here are 3 of the biggest reasons why creators stay broke and what to do about each one of them. Reason number 1 is buyer intent is missing. No matter what niche you're in, you're creating a certain type of content for your audience. Entertainment content, problem-solving content, or both. By default, some niches lean more towards entertainment, such as vlogs, gaming videos, reaction pranks, and commentary, and channels like that. But an entertainment audience is only there to consume. They show up, they view your content, maybe give it a like, and then they leave. And I just got through explaining why it's so tough to make real money from ad revenue alone, right? So instead of an entertainment audience, think about what a problem-solving audience is there for. They watch to solve a pain point or achieve a dream outcome like losing weight, making more money, or becoming a metal guitar god. The problem solver is the type of viewer who can be persuaded to buy something, and that makes them much more valuable to you as a creator. Now, the good news is your content can appeal to both types, sometimes even within the same video, but for sure channel-wide with a mix of entertainment-focused and problem-solving focused topics. In my case, with the account Ryan is Heartless, I create music content that is hopefully entertaining every time, but I also create music content that educates people. For example, there is a YouTube playlist of song reactions that I've put together. All of these are pure entertainment, but I also have an entire playlist of guitar amps and mixing plugins and music software reviews, and these reviews are a lot more focused on problem solving. So you can see how someone who decides to watch these videos is more likely to go buy something. In fact, these reviews are a perfect opportunity for me to generate affiliate revenue by recommending other people's products, an infinitely more profitable approach than ad revenue alone. So here's the takeaway. Entertaining or viral content tends to attract low commitment viewers. They may consume, but problem-solving audiences are the ones who convert. Or to put it another way, if you've trained your audience to expect free dopamine, then it's really tough to turn around and sell transformation. So we're left with a foundational question for your creator business. Are you only there to entertain? Or is there a problem you can help your audience solve? Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with just being an entertainer, but just know that you'll have to aim for a massive amount of reach to make any money. It's just a whole lot easier to build a strong business around your content by being laser focused on problem solvers with your buyer intent inside your niche. So what's the solution to reason number 1 why creators are broke? Create an online presence and content focused on problem solving. You don't have to abandon what you've already built. Just layer in some new content that attracts buyers and not just viewers. For every entertaining video that you create, put out a product review or how-to tutorial to balance it out and ensure some of your audience has buying intent. Now, once you're regularly putting out problem-solving content, let's talk about the next bottleneck that you need to worry about, which is you don't own your audience. If YouTube or Instagram stopped recommending you tomorrow, how many people in your audience could you reach directly within 24 hours? In the modern social media landscape, an audience is conditional. Conditional on playing nice with the social media platform, on optimizing for its goals of watch time, engagement, and ad impressions, on creating whatever a third-party algorithm wants you to create. Even though you may publish content that your audience enjoys on these platforms, make no mistake, the almighty algorithm is always a gatekeeper. And in other words, you lacked direct distribution, which means one unexpected algorithm change or shadow ban or straight up account shutdown means your hard-won audience can disappear overnight. And sadly, it's not a winning strategy to brute force the attention game by growing a bigger and bigger following on sites like YouTube and Instagram, hoping the money will eventually follow. Instead, here's what you need to do. You need to establish owned assets, a website, an email list, online community, or a combination of the three, where you can host your most devoted audience members and maintain direct access to them. And if you need a reminder, think views to value. Basically, where can you take all of these views you're getting and convert them into value for your business? I'll dive deeper into this concept a little bit later, but for now, let's jump into the final hurdle that most creators face that keeps them broke. And that is brand deals create false security. Many creators think of brand deals as the ultimate goal, the way you know you've made it, right? But the uncomfortable reality is this. Brand deals are a continuation of the attention game, not the ownership game. They represent income, but not equity. And to put it another way, brand deals are building somebody else's asset, not your own. They're rented attention, and if the brand stops paying, your income vanishes. Plus, in the process of working with other brands, you often cede meaningful control over your own brand and content strategy to somebody else. And even worse, you let them set the terms of how you get paid. Maybe all of these concerns could be overlooked if you were able to fully count on brand deals to monetize your content, but what if you never managed to win any of these lucrative brand deals? If you're building a creator business and pinning all of your hopes for making real money on a hypothetical future brand deal, you're risking a lot more than you realize. Now, I know this sounds apocalyptic, and you're probably thinking, if I can't count on ad revenue and I can't rely on brand deals, what can I do? Well, that is the perfect question to be asking, and the answer will move you closer to the ownership game. Instead of relying on brand deals, my recommendation is to create your own offer, a product or a service that you can make money from and control. And I know that creating a compelling offer isn't always easy, but creators have a huge advantage that most people don't. They can see what resonates with their audience week after week just by posting new content. You'll want to take note of the topics that your audience gravitates towards, the content they can't get enough of, the questions that they ask you without prompting. Take me for an example here. When I first started posting my riffs and original music to Instagram and YouTube and TikTok, my followers actually started commenting asking me for things like guitar tablature and notation for the music that I was posting. I never would have thought to, one, notate those and make them available to people, and let alone charge for them somehow. So with that in mind, you could treat this kind of data as raw market research and turn it into a valuable offer format to address a narrow problem for your target audience. And your options are endless. They include things like coaching and consulting services, an online course, a paid community, a downloadable book or guide. Now, the good news is there's a fantastic way to build any or all of these monetization options through one singular platform, and that's called Sphere. As a creator myself, I think Sphere is a total game changer for anyone who's serious about the business side of building a creator business. With Sphere, you can establish your own community, and it supports monetization through courses, subscription tiers, and a whole lot more. Best of all, Sphere is your payment method, so you don't have to worry about wiring together any complicated payment integrations. All you have to do is sign up, launch your Sphere community, choose how to monetize, and start inviting your fans and followers from across the web to become members of your Sphere. We'll drop a link in the description if you want to check that out, but remember, this is all in service of our views to value philosophy, so trust me on this. Your income will skyrocket when you put your focus on converting all of that raw attention into assets and offers that you own. Now, by this point, I've talked about a ton of different things in this video, so let's go ahead and tie it all together with a real life example, me. I regularly release videos as Ryan is Heartless within the music niche, long form videos on YouTube and short form videos on Instagram and TikTok. And again, across those channels, I aim to publish a mix of entertaining content and informational or problem-solving content so that if I ever want to promote something to my audience, there's at least some buying intent there. But going back to the reasons why creators stay broke, here's what I'm doing right now and where I still have work to do. Reason number one, buyer intent is missing. On the topic of buyer intent, I think I'm doing reasonably well. I deliberately create content that teaches my audience about metal, guitar, and making music, both entertaining and problem-solving. And I'll give myself a 7 out of 10 for this one. But remember, a buyer intent happens when you create content based on a problem that your audience has that you can help solve. And it works so well because you're actively establishing yourself as a trusted authority on this problem. Then, when you recommend a solution as an affiliate or promote your own product or service as a seller, down the road, it's a logical next step for the buyer to purchase something from you. Now, that's not bad, but let's look at how I'm doing at owning my audience. Reason number two, you don't own your audience. As I've said throughout this video, creators don't truly own their audience on big tech platforms like Instagram, YouTube, YouTube or TikTok. Especially with the way algorithms have shifted toward the For You page models these days. It's not even about followers on these platforms anymore. So to really have that sense of continuity, you realistically should create 3 things: a website, an email list, and a community. In my case, I have all 3, but it's a small email list and I'm still fairly new to growing my community, so I'll give myself probably a 6 out of 10 there. And I wish I'd started on these way sooner than I did. But with that said, I already have a lot more control over my destiny as a creator because I'm proactively growing assets and finding ways to truly own my audience. In particular, I'm fostering a community around my content, not just praying to the social media gods to show people my videos. Brand deals create false security in my mind because brand deals are like a mirage in a desert of monetization opportunities for creators. Yes, brand deals can slake your thirst in the short term, but that's not the same as establishing your own well or reservoir, or whatever people in a desert would use to have reliable water. You get the idea. Now, for years, I've focused on selling my own stuff. Guitar content, heavy music, gear-related products, original releases, my guitar tablature, and I've had lots of products for sale, but selling those things one-off or even bundling them all together just really wasn't working. And on top of that, I had no real way to keep those followers connected to me or to each other in the long term. Then Sphere gave me something different. Instead of just trying to sell products, I had a place to actually build a community around what I do. A place where people who are into the same music, the same gear, playing in creative processes can come together, connect and learn, and be part of something ongoing. And this gave me a way to offer real value, keep people engaged, and build something that feels a lot more meaningful than just posting and hoping that it sticks. So on this one, I'm definitely gonna give myself an 8 out of 10. Still room for improvement, but I can feel the momentum building by adding value to my audience and making meaningful sales through my online community on Sphere. Now, overall, I'm really passionate about these lessons because internalizing them has changed the trajectory of my career as a creator. And I hope they do the same for you. Remember, if you want to turn your audience into real income, you need more than just followers. Balance your focus on the attention game with an equal amount of focus on the ownership game. Optimize for views to value, not just views. Don't rely on ad revenue or brand deals alone. Invest in assets you control like a website, email list, and an online community. Lastly, never apologize for making a living with your creator business. What you do matters, and you deserve to be compensated for your work and for your time. Now, if you got value out of this video, please show me some love with a quick like or comment. And if you're ready to get started with your own community, click the link down below. Sphere is by creators, for creators, and we're committed to helping all creators grow sustainable and thriving businesses through the power of community. For even more creator goodness, check out this next video for our best tips on how to thrive in the new creator economy, and I'll see you there.